At this point, you and your family are probably having a hard time escaping the everyday impacts of inflation, from gas to groceries. Farmers are also being hit by price increases, but Chris Conte shows us some ideas in the works to help keep costs down.
Inconsistency is about the only constant in farming.
Got it?
Not just the unpredictability of the weather, but the uncertain shape of equipment as the years turn.
The joke is grease worms. They get in there and eat all the grease up. So I'm just trying to go along and grease everything, make sure there's plenty of grease after sitting all winter.
John Paul DeKeen III is not a third, fourth, or even fifth generation farmer. He is the first person in his family to take on this noble American calling.
The trick is to try and do this without getting grease all over yourself.
And is someday hoping to pass it down to his son, John Paul DeKeen V.
This one is Brookie. I don't remember her tag, but they're very sweet. Yeah.
John Paul and his dad farm a few hundred acres of land in North Texas.
So we're in the community of Bethel, basically Waxahachie, Texas.
A crisscrossing patchwork of fields where rows of corn are just starting to make their first appearance of the season. How's this look to you?
It looks a whole lot better now that it's muddy.
But a 7-year drought is far from this 48-year-old's biggest concern this growing season. The price of the fertilizer he depends on to feed his crops has skyrocketed due to inflation, supply chain issues, and the war in Ukraine.
Without the nutrients, that plant goes into a salvage mode.
Last year, nitrogen fertilizer cost John Paul about $380 a ton. This year, the nitrogen he needs is going for $1,200 a ton, a 215% increase.
Do you think you'll be breaking even, or do you think it's just going to be?
To break even. We're going to have to make a pretty decent crop to break even. And that's not good. It's not a good place to be in.
Here's why fertilizer is so vitally important to farmers. As a fast-growing leafy crop, corn is pretty low maintenance, but a good dose of nitrogen will help raise the level of nutrients in the soil to help create a better growing environment for the plant, creating more healthy stalks. It might surprise you to learn that this one sprout of corn is so vitally important to the U.S. economy that the USDA is now offering $250 million in grants to increase American fertilizer production.
Everybody eats, and it's going to affect everyone.
I wanted to learn more about the efforts being made to help farmers, which is how I met Brant Wilborn, the Texas Farm Bureau.
Farmers are still able to make just a little bit of money.
He says those grants being offered by the USDA to increase fertilizer production here in the U.S. won't help farmers right now, but it will better insulate the ag industry from skyrocketing production costs in the next few years.
If we can have those innovative solutions brought forward to USDA to get that funding, it would definitely help.
It's economics of what do you think this crop is going to make, and are you going to spend more money than you're ever going to get back?
Even as a first-generation farmer, John Paul DeKeen has learned uncertainty is about the only thing that's certain out here. He's just waiting for more favorable winds to blow his way. In Waxahachie, Texas, I'm Chris Conte.